From Halo News, a special report from the 7th grade journalism staff on preparing for and dealing with midterm exams. This report deals with the 4 S's: sleep, study, stress, and snacks. We hope you find this helpful.
I'm going to interview some students about sleep, and they're going to tell me how much sleep they get.
I get 6 hours of sleep every night.
I get 5 hours of sleep every night.
I get 9 hours of sleep, and I feel pepped.
This is how sleep affects you.
What time is it? I want Egos. Where's my locker? Oh, my back hurts.
This is why you should get at least 8 hours of sleep.
Make sure to keep your locker organized. Organization is key. This is how your locker should not look. Your locker should be neat so that you can easily access your study materials. A crowded locker does you no good.
Study groups are an efficient and collaborative way to study with friends. Make sure you go over questions you missed the first time, and don't stress out.
Frankie Finger here with a few 6th graders to talk about midterms. What's your name?
Kaden.
How prepared are you for midterms?
I'm a little nervous, but not that much because we've gone over this stuff for the whole year.
Thank you. What's your name?
Anna Paulina.
How have you prepared for midterms?
I've studied my notes and my past tests.
Good. What's your name?
Michael.
What subject are you the most confident in for midterms?
Science.
Why are you the most confident in that?
Because I feel like I understand it more than social studies.
Good answer. I'm Frankie Finger with
Hi,
Halo
I'm Sabrina
News.
Nino with Halo News, and right now we're with Miss Hartfield, and she's going to tell us a little bit about midterms and how to prepare.
Well, to be really honest, I think it's a little late to be concerned about preparing for midterm exams. Every day when you students come into the classrooms, you need to be prepared to learn. You should listen, you should take notes, you should ask questions, and you should participate. If you do all of those things and then in the evening look over your material for about 10 or 15 minutes and try to understand what we talked about in class, you'll do fine for the test over that particular subject or material that you've covered. So then when you get to midterm exams, all you're doing is simply reviewing the material that you have been learning throughout the last half of the year. So I think the best thing to do as far as my class is to get your past tests out, look over those, make sure you understand all of the material, because it may be asked as it was on a previous test, or a question may be asked in different words, but it's understanding the concept. And then you'll be well prepared and you can come into class and do your very best.
Thank you. In preparation for midterms, since they're right around the corner, we have some students here to help with study tips. How do you prepare for midterms?
I use previous tests. I go to study groups with my friends, and I use flashcards.
Thank you, Clara.
I make study guides on the computer and share them with my friends, and I also talk to teachers if I have any questions.
What great study tips!
Hi, I'm Shakir Rahimi, and I'm here with Halo News.
I'm Joseph.
We're here to ask him some questions about his midterms. What are you doing to prepare for midterms?
I am making note cards, reviewing the paper, and making sure I know everything that we have done this year.
How do you feel about taking your first midterm?
I feel like it's going to be not too hard, and I feel I'm not nervous about it, so yeah.
Thank you.
I'm Nicole Halton. I'm here with Ms. Constantini.
Hi.
Okay. And I'm going to ask her a few questions on exams. How do you recommend relieving stress during exam week?
So a couple different things. One, it's really important to get enough sleep. I think sometimes we don't realize how important that is to retain the information you're learning. You need to give your brain time to rest. It's important to not wait to the last minute. I'm sure you've heard that before with your studying. Study several days in advance, a little bit each day. I always recommend it for my own kids to study ahead of time on your own, and then when you feel like you're prepared, then maybe study in groups with your friends.
Why do you think students get so overwhelmed, and what are some things they can do to help?
I think students get overwhelmed because I think the amount of work and how hard the material is that you guys are learning is a lot more than it used to be when I was a kid in the dinosaur age. So, and you also have a lot more going on than just school. You all have activities that you do and responsibilities at home, and it's a lot. So yeah, and so things to help. It's important to have things that help you de-stress, whether, like I know I mentioned the resting thing, but whether it's going for a run, listening to music, talking to your friends, knowing things that help you relax, so when you go back to studying, it's a little less stressful.
Thank you.
And I'm Alyssa. Today we are here to ask her some questions on how to relieve stress. How do you relieve stress whenever you're studying for an exam?
I usually listen to music.
How do you calm down before a test?
I power study or just breathe.
Here with Halo News, and I'm here with Eva Turner to ask her some questions on her midterms. How do you feel about your second year of exams?
I feel nervous and confident at the same time.
How are you going to prepare for your midterms?
I'm going to make flashcards and I'm going to quiz myself on Kahoot and Quizlet. I will also reread all my textbooks.
Thank you.
I'm MK Davis and I'm here with breakfast. First we have eggs. The yolk in eggs have lutein, which is a good source of protein, which is also in spinach and kale. And who wants to eat that for breakfast? Not me. Next we have peanut butter. Peanut butter is also a good source of protein. Spread it on your toast or have it with the healthy fruit, apples. I'm MK Davis with Halo News.
I'm here with healthy snacks. Let's talk about lunch. Ever heard unhealthy fruit? Don't think so. What about ham sandwich, packed with protein? Also, don't forget celery and peanut butter, also packed with protein, and celery is just plain healthy. Don't forget to drink tons of water. I'm Kate Broussard and I'm here with healthy snacks.